Welcome back to Tonight in San Diego. We want to thank our wonderful live studio audience here at the Jeffrey Theater downtown at Spreckles. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We have prizes for the people in our live audience like these. We're giving away 2 tickets to see Paul Stanley's Soul Station at the Belly Up Tavern in Solana Beach coming up. If you want to win tickets like this and other prizes, get your tickets to Tonight in San Diego at tonightinsandiego.com or go on social media, post some pictures, and hashtag us Tonight in San Diego. Our next guest, you can hear her on 91X. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome HIlary Chambers. It's so nice to see you again, HIlary.
It's so nice to see you, Jesse.
Thank you for coming on the show. I think the last time I saw you, we were both at the Comedy Store in La Jolla.
I was a little buzzed.
I think we both were. That's why we barely remembered it. But it was a good show, wasn't it?
It was a great show. You were hilarious.
Thank you so much. I
My
will pay
pleasure.
you later for saying that.
It was
If
really
you could
good.
post that to my Instagram, my mom would like it. So, I wanted to ask you about your start. You got a very unique start in radio. You're now on 91X, but you started in a Megadeth-related incident. I don't know, that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but how did that happen?
Well, I was doing college radio. I went to UC Irvine and was working at a 200-watt radio station. No, 24 watts back then in like 1991. But I just knew I wanted to do radio. I just loved it. I loved playing whatever I wanted to play. But 24 watts is like a 2-mile radius.
Okay.
So and my show was at 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesdays. So I would say, like, if anyone is listening, please call and make a request. And nobody would call.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was kind of sad. So then one night I went to go see Megadeth and Infectious Grooves at the Long Beach Arena, and the friend that I was with, we kind of talked our way into this pre-party that was happening outside. KNAC was this legendary metal station in Long Beach that was hosting it, and we got in. I met the morning show DJ, and I just told him, I said, one day I will work with you. Like, I am going to do it. And he was really interested in college radio and stuff, so he gave me the number of the promotions coordinator to call, and like a week later I had an internship, and it just snowballed.
Made it happen.
From there.
So you got to thank hair metal, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
thank you, Dave Mustaine.
Dave Mustaine. And you also met a member of Metallica while you were doing radio, right?
Oh, yeah. So that was kind of like the end to that story. KNAC was sold. I had been working there. I was, at that point, a senior in college. And I very naively thought I would graduate from college and just get a full-time job there, because that's what happens. And in my senior year in college, it was sold, and it was decided that they were going to flip it to a Spanish format. And it really was like a legendary rock station in LA back in the day. So James and Lars from Metallica flew down to be with the staff on the air with us the very last day when we signed off. And at one point, I was in the studio, like the on-air studio of KNAC. We were all gathered in there, because at that point I was on the air and I was doing part-time and I had a punk show and stuff. And I was so sad, probably because I was like, what, I'm gonna have to work at Starbucks. But so I was like sobbing, and they were playing Fade to Black, my Metallica, as the last song. And Lars reached over to me and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm gonna be fine. But it was so surreal. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
So did that station go on to be a Spanish heavy metal station?
No, unfortunately.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? I want to see that. I want to hear that.
So cool, yeah.
And by the way, tonight, you shouldn't feel bad, because tonight in San Diego, we're a 12-watt reach. So
I feel ya.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
Right. They can see this show on this block, basically.
Yeah. It goes up to the bail bonds, I think.
Yes, the bail bonds people watch it all night.
That's what I've heard.
You have interviewed a lot of different people.
I have.
And met people through radio. Have you had some really good experiences with celebrities and maybe some
sure.
not so good?
Yeah, I've had some incredible experiences, pinch me moments, like, you know, having Dave Grohl came down one day. This was when 91X was in a different building. The first time I worked for 91X, my first stint. And you know, they call it like taking over your show, where a rock star is going to come in and sort of play whatever they want, but it's all pre-recorded and smoke and mirrors. But he truly came in. He hung out for like 3 hours. It was just he and I in the studio, and he was so funny and warm and genuine and like joking around. Like we totally hugged it out when he left.
Oh,
I mean,
so
it was,
cool.
Yeah, stuff like that.
You never really know how celebrities are going to be, right? Like you always wonder if they're as cool as they seem, and then it's so disappointing if they're not, right?
Right, and I would say the majority of the time I am impressed with people when I meet them, but there have been a few incidents with rock stars and celebrities where it's been incredibly disappointing.
What was the worst interview that you think you had to do?
Well, so I was a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
Okay.
I don't know if I can hear this story because I am a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. Should I earmuffs?
You might need them.
Oh no.
Just go wait under the bridge.
I was huge. I listened, when Blood Sugar Sex Magic came out, I was a freshman in college, and I listened to it every day. Like, I adored that band, and I had loved Mother's Milk and Freaky Styley and before that. So, but this was later. This was like 2002 or something. It was when 91X was still on Pacific Highway, and Anthony Kiedis was coming in to promote a new Chili Peppers album, and they had a show that night down at, it was called Coors Amphitheater at the time, Sleep Train. And I was so excited to meet him and so nervous. I mean, I worship the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he showed up with his like girlfriend du jour, and
was he wearing clothes, by the way?
He was wearing clothes.
Just curious. I didn't
I'm
know.
already disappointed.
No.
Keith likes the just sock wearing Anthony Kiedis.
I know.
Half of my wardrobe is just day socks.
That's
Just
good.
one sock.
That's a good look. But no, so he brought his girlfriend with him, and the old 91X studio was tiny, and so it was just the three of us in there. Like, it was kind of odd. Usually people don't bring their girlfriends like into the studio with them, so it was the two of them and me, and they just made out. And I just sat there like between songs, like, okay. So they were like right there, like all in, and then
Didn't make for good radio, I guess.
no. And then when I would ask him questions, and you know, you try and joke around with people to like loosen them up and stuff, like, what about the socks or whatever. And anything I said, he just stared at me with a straight face and just let it fall flat. He was just like, And at the end, we ask artists after an interview to do what we call IDs, like, hey, this is Anthony Kiedis, and you're listening to 91X. And he refused to do any IDs. He and between songs, he would just turn to his girlfriend, and they would make out and giggle while I just sat there very uncomfortable. So that sucked. And then I had to go see them that night, and we had like amazing pit tickets or whatever, and I was like crushed. I just watched him like this, like, you dick, you know? Oh my God.
That's funny. That's when, after he finishes the song, when you're supposed to applaud, you just stone face him, right?
Totally.
Just get him back.
Give him the bird. But no, most people are great.
Most people are cool.
Most people are awesome.
And it always impresses you that someone like so famous could be nice when you meet someone like
Oh my
that.
gosh, and like Beck and Mike Ness and Blink, like you name it. It's always like a really great surprise.
Any advice for someone when you're interviewing someone of that magnitude? Any advice that you could give me in case that happens? In case I meet Anthony Kiedis, I'm nervous right now meeting you because you met Anthony Kiedis. So
of that magnitude.
Yes, of the magnitude. If anyone is the size of Flea or whatever, what can I do to make it a better interview? I mean, you can't do anything if they're just making out, I guess, right?
No, you can't. It was very uncomfortable. What I do that helps me is I do a lot of research. Some people like to just wing it. I can't do that. I draw blanks. I do a lot of research, and I jot down things either on my phone or on paper, and then listen. Like, try and just be a really good listener, because then you take what they're telling you and go with that. Don't have the standard like, so what were your influences on this album when they've just finished
That
telling
was going to
you,
be my
like, a
next
really
question,
cool
by the way.
story.
That was a bad idea. And you know, in stand-up comedy, they tell you when you get really nervous to picture the audience naked.
I've heard that.
Does that? Well, I guess that's easy for when you're interviewing Red Hot Chili Peppers, but
Just picture a sock,
otherwise,
yeah.
does that work?
I have not had to picture anyone naked, but Mark Hoppus from Blink got naked while I was interviewing him one time.
Really?
So he did. No, he did. He took off his pants while I was interviewing him. And this was a long time ago. He did, and my boss was livid afterwards. I thought it was funny, and I didn't see his genitalia, unfortunately, but no, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything, but he, but it was like funny, and they're Blink, they're silly. It was not like, I didn't feel harassed. It was funny and all in good fun and whatever. But my boss at the time was furious at him for having done that, and gave their management an earful. And so the next day I got to work and I had this gorgeous gift basket that had been delivered from Blink 182 of all these like lotions and soaps and
Really?
bath bombs. Yeah, it was lovely.
Wow. Well, I guess you got
have
a
no
lotion.
idea how many gift baskets I've had to give out.
So many.
So many gift
So
baskets.
many. You
It
got a
totally
lotion.
works, man.
Yeah.
I forgave him like that.
You
It was
forgave
like, ooh, I smell good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So people can hear you in the afternoons. What's the time slot?
Yes,
91X.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. I keep hitting my mic. I'm not used to having it right there. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'm on 91X, and I'm also the music director, so most of the music you're hearing.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
If you ever need me to cut a promo or be on, I'll do it for you. No problem.
Done. I'm in.
Thank you for coming on the
Thank
show.
you,
HIlary
Jesse.
Chambers, everybody. Give it up for her. We'll be right back right after this. Stick around, everybody.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh.